County judge canceled court for the day in the ongoing YSL racketeering trial as she considers declaring a mistrial. This comes after another misstep in court yesterday by prosecutors.
I'm told defense attorneys here are possibly talking with District Attorney Fani Willis for potential plea deals.
We're at a dramatic inflection point, and I personally believe we've seen the last day of trial in YSL.
With the last 2 days being so crucial for Young Thug's release from jail, rappers have been reacting, hinting towards when it will officially happen. As we saw Lil Baby tweet, Thug is about to come home for life. This madness needs to end today. While even 42 Doug stated the YSL trial has been very disturbing. It almost feels like someone has it out for Young Thug.
Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think that's been?
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. The shit with the judge that just happened.
That just happened.
Crazy, like trying to send his lawyer to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
As he is definitely right. The mistrial decision has been very disturbing for one specific reason, and allow me to explain. The trial was just delayed after a report of confirmed no court tomorrow in the YSL trial. It appears plea negotiations are ongoing. The plan now is for Monday at 9 a.m. This came after a report of developing. According to multiple sources, the defense team of the YSL case is currently meeting with Fani Willis at the DA office. Are they discussing deals? As Young Thug's release from jail is now pretty clear, but how we got to this point is extremely disturbing, and allow me to explain. Because it all started out, and I quote, rapper Slime Life Shoddy, who was once signed to Lil Durk's label, recently took the stand in the YSL Rico trial and admitted that he and others treated YSL like a gang.
Outside of the music, is YSL a gang?
You said outside of the music?
Yes, sir.
Some people treat it like that.
What do you treat it as?
I treated it that way before.
You treated it as a gang before?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you stop treating it as a gang?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
You just don't remember. And when you say you treated it as a gang, what do you mean? How old were you when you joined YSL, the gang?
Can you tell me what you mean by like join? Like, are you talking about?
What would you consider joining?
I'm saying, like, do you mean join like, cause you know, like to get in the gang, you join the gang, like you get up or something like that.
How did you become a member of YSL?
My music got popping and I became a known face in my neighborhood.
Now, this is nothing new in the slightest. We all know that YSL could potentially be a gang, but the judge would end up screaming at the prosecutors that who cares whether YSL is a gang or not? We need to see physical evidence of them doing anything illegal, which is what the judge keeps stressing to the prosecutor. This made her get extremely angry. We would then see an argument be created between the judge and DA Love, which is when it was announced, this is the most preposterous thing I've ever heard in the YSL trial. Judge says, what I'm trying to do is fix your sloppiness so everybody won't have wasted 10 to 12 months of their lives in this trial.
Trying to do is fix your sloppiness so that everybody won't have wasted, 10, 12 months of their lives in this trial. Okay, do it now.
In the heat of the argument, the judge just made one of the worst mistakes that a judge can make inside of any court trial, announcing that she is trying to fix the prosecutor's sloppiness, meaning that she is practically teaming up with the state. She is not allowed to do this at all. This immediately got the lawyers of Young Thug going, because they would end up demanding a mistrial when it would be announced, whoa, judge makes it clear there is no chance of a mistrial with prejudice, but she leaves the possibility open for a mistrial without prejudice. Nicole says she would be good with that at this stage, and the rest of the lawyers are discussing if they are agreeing, because the judge doesn't want to lose her job.
So are you asking, what kind of a mistrial are you asking for?
Your Honor, I believe that we were goaded into the mistrial.
Okay, well, I do not believe that, because if you had seen Miss Hilton's face when that came out of the witness's mouth, she was appalled, and I do not believe that they are purposefully trying to insert error into this trial to make y'all ask for a mistrial so that they can try this case again. I think it is continued, and I am sorry. Y'all have, this gigantic, ginormous universe of evidence that maybe if you narrowed down, you would not be making these kinds of mistakes. But I believe that to be a mistake.
Your Honor,
so I'm going to deny a motion for a mistrial with prejudice. That one, I don't believe that the facts bear out. Would you like a mistrial without prejudice?
Mind you, this is one of the most confusing things ever. The judge says there is no mistrial, but then just 5 seconds later says, actually, there's a possibility. This feels awfully similar to what Boosie said about YNW Melly, because when the feds want you, they'll just find weird ways to keep you.
Now they're putting even more charges on them, and then
when they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah. They could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
This has led into the judge as well as Fani Willis starting to create deals with Young Thug's lawyer. Because this trial is about to end due to the prosecutors not having any witnesses left. It would be reported a sanction in the YSL trial. The judge struck all testimony from a retired gang officer who said on the stand that a defendant was in and out of jail. He also can't testify again. You can tell the DA from nearly begging her to reconsider that this is not good for them, which it isn't because they're now out of witnesses against Young Thug.
I am finding that this was not intentionally elicited on the part of the state. However, I also am finding that this witness as a law enforcement officer should have known better than to make any mention of it. It is, however, significant that one of the charges against Mr. Kendrick in this indictment is that he is a convicted felon. Were it not for that, I would grant the mistrial motion. But given that this jury already knows that he's been convicted and is a convicted felon anyway, even without this testimony, I don't think that a mistrial is warranted. I am, however, going to give a curative instruction and as a sanction for this having occurred, that's the end of the testimony from this witness. There's going to be no more testimony from him. So
now this is amazing news for Young Thug. As a tweet would share, the judge says she would have granted the mistrial motion, but because of one of Yak's charges has him being a convicted felon already, the damage is limited. However, she does rule on a sanction, meaning the state is no longer allowed to question the witness. This is the second best option other than a mistrial being the first for Young Thug. This means another witness can now no longer provide evidence against Thug or YSL members. However, this would end up leading Charleston White reacting, sharing that if this is not enough for a mistrial yet, Young Thug may never be released because they will always find a way to just keep him.
Thug won't out, he ain't even been gone 2 months yet. I'm almost willing to bet. I'm almost willing to bet with any rapper, if they keep Young Thug locked up 6 more months in the conditions he in, he'll tell to get out of jail too. They keep him 6 more months, locked up in them conditions like that there, he'll tell to get out of jail too. Yeah, I tell you ain't never, man, God ain't gonna never let you out of prison. Cause he wasn't talking like another is talking. Yeah, boy, after 30 years, that got that bald spot. He got all them gray whiskers up under the beard. That used to be my color. That light yellow now, because he don't get a lot of sunlight. Yeah.
But what happened next inside of this courtroom would always end in a mistrial, but once again, it weirdly doesn't. When it would be announced, breaking news, YSL prosecutor Fani Willis has sent Adam down to the YSL case to fill in for DA Love's seat as the first chair, which is a result of what DA Love said about Young Thug, as it also led into the state possibly investigating the YSL trial for case corruption. For context, prosecutor Love was allegedly claiming that Young Thug does illegal activities to chase money.
what suggests that he is doing anything illegal by chasing that money?
Your Honor.
Isn't that what pretty much all of us who aren't independently wealthy have to do every day of our lives?
Your Honor, I'm not saying that it is with certainty that this is what he is saying. What I'm saying is that it is evidence that tends to, or that has a tendency to make a portion of our assertions or our allegations in the indictment true to the extent that it is relevant that he made or said that, made that statement on that posting. He is representing YSL. He is.
I mean, obviously, you know, it's all over his body, but how is the post, the language representing YSL?
As even the judge said, what suggests that he's doing anything illegal by chasing that money? Isn't that something that we all do? As throughout the argument, DA Love almost sounded like she was hinting towards the type of man that Young Thug is, chases money in an illegal way. Many online looked at it as Young Thug's color is skin, and the type of people that he hangs around with. One commenter even said, now this is just crazy. If Young Thug was white, I bet no one in the law system would accuse him of chasing money by doing something illegal. This is, however, where Young Thug's lawyer made Young Thug look so great to the jury, because they've been holding onto a piece of evidence when it was reported gang member on a wiretap complaining that Young Thug is the richest man in Atlanta, Georgia, but he refuses to put any money back into the street, confirming that Young Thug does chase money in a legal and a right way, and if anything, doesn't put any risk on himself by putting his legal money into illegal situations.
We was just talking about we was just really, talking about Spider, like how Charlotte got all these goddamn paper, but really letting these folks really just get the really ups on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way, bro. Like just being real, bro. Ain't no young his age. Charlotte the richest young in Atlanta, Georgia, bro. Ain't having more money than Charlotte, bro. Yeah. Nah, he age now. Like, come on, bro. Ain't having that much more money than Charlotte, bro. Charlotte supposed to be having shit. Charlotte supposed to be clean shit up, bro. Like, no, man. Charlotte supposed to be clean shit up, bro.
But, like, you just look, just see how it is now. Like, and they got some corny him, bro. When we was around him, bro, like, you know, we still gonna do, you know what I'm saying? We still gonna do it anyway, but, like,
yeah.
You feel me? Like, man, damn.
Shit ain't right, though.
Now, this is only strengthening Young Thug's lawyer's chances of getting him released. At this point, I don't even think the jury believes that he's guilty of any crimes. If anything, he looks amazing. But to understand Young Thug's release date, you first need to understand the outburst by the judge in the case. Because it would be reported, the judge went off on Prosecutor Love, saying, "It is baffling to me that someone with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposely hide the ball for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it's that purposeful, unless it is that you are so unorganized that you are throwing the case together as you try it." The judge then had to leave the bench to go take a deep breath, making it really seem this YSL trial is going to be over this week.
I mean, I can't figure out what it is. If it's disingenuous, if it is that, I mean, I don't want to, the prosecutor standing in front of me right now, so I'm not going to say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful, but honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it.